Okay, so thank you again for joining this Solent BIB information session, designed to give you a bit more of an insight into the Solent University, our relationship and partnership with BIB, and an opportunity really for you guys to ask any questions that you might have before finding out more tomorrow in your session. There will be the odd person keep joining us in the joining us over here. Right. Anyway, let me just start it. So hi. Yeah. Hopefully everybody can see my screen. If you can't, do let me know that you can't. Otherwise, I'll assume you can. My name is Tom, and I'm the Senior International Officer for Europe and the North American region. So what that means is it's my job to look after you before you join us, look after you when you've made your application, and provide BIB with any sort of help, advice and guidance along the way. So again, this session's to give you a bit of a flavour of Solent and then an opportunity to ask any questions at the end. So where are we based? We're based in the port city of Southampton. Southampton's located in southeast England, right there at the bottom there, that red dot. It's a really well connected city. It's a brilliant hub to explore the rest of the UK and indeed Europe. It has its own airport. It's a large city on the seafront and has fantastic links with the rest of the UK. A lot of students use Southampton again as a base during their year with us to go and explore other cities. Oxford, Bristol are nearby, and it's only 70 miles, 110 kilometre southwest of London. So it's really well connected to the capital as well. There's lots to do in the city. As again, it's the largest city in the southeast area that's not London, but only an hour by train to London. It's got a population of 250,000 people, and over 43,000 of those are students. So it's got a really dense or really large student population, which means that actually when all the students are in at university, it's a very vibrant and exciting place to be. It's a major port city. It's got a lot of maritime heritage. Along with Liverpool, it's one of the two biggest in the UK, and along with Hamburg, one of the largest in Europe. So it's it's on the seafront, but it's also got famous marinas and famous ports. Home to some of the largest cruise ship companies in the world, famous for the Titanic, and just a lot of heritage there. I've mentioned the airport. You can fly from Germany, certain parts of Germany, I believe just Munich at the moment, down to Southampton, but we're well connected to Gatwick and Heathrow airports as well. It's consistently voted in the UK's top 10 happiest, sunniest and warmest cities down in the south, and has had a lot of money spent on the new city developments, got loads of cafes, bars and restaurants. And I think another thing to end is just it's an affordable city. Students that live right in the heart of London, can struggle sometimes with the costs of living in London. Southampton's a really affordable city, one of the cheapest cities in the south of England to live in, but well connected to the rest of the country. So there's loads to do, as I've mentioned. Some of the highlights from Southampton is its famous sea museums, the Solent Sky Aviation Centres and museums. There's lots of theatre and cultural activities, 2 large shopping malls and complexes, a cultural quarter, exhibition halls where bands come when they come to visit the UK, and also I'm just going to let these people in, sorry, and also the village marina and the historic walls and bar gates. So there's still, as you can see at the top right picture, some of the wall left over of our walls, and you can take a walk along the city walls as well. So it's a real mixture of a modern city and historical as well. During your year with us at Solent, you study what we refer to as a world-ready degree. Now, what that means is our degrees are that teach and you'll learn in a way that goes beyond passive classroom learning. It's more active and engaging, and it focuses on group work, seminar work, presentations, and getting you ready for the world of work afterwards. The way we teach that is through our links with the industries. We've got phenomenal links with some of the industries, be it games design, visual arts, digital arts, media production. We work with people based around Southampton and in London, pardon me, and the broader UK to make sure you gain the skills and be able to take your learning a little bit further than where you are at the moment. we back that up with the facilities that we've got in campus, and there's an opportunity to have a look around our facilities by taking a virtual tour. And likewise, if any of you decide to join us for the planned, hopefully it goes ahead, the planned trip in April, where we bring students to Solent, that will be another opportunity for you to meet our staff and see our facilities then as well. And to add to that, we also have our award-winning Solent enterprises. So Riso is our own shop. We've got Solent Productions, which is our own media production company. Solent, so we've got Solent Music, which is obviously our music productions company. Solent Creatives, who are our own marketing and brand agency. This allows students to get further experience and make their CV stand out even more after they graduate with employers. So we deliver a modern delivery of teaching. So again, active approach to teaching and learning. It's about getting you doing things, using the facilities and making use of the campus. This comprises a few formal lectures where you just sit and listen to somebody, small classroom based, and lots of different methods of assessment. We also encourage meetups, competitions, and it is visits to industry. We also bring industry to here, and we actually hosted our own computer video games conference back in 2019, where we allowed students the opportunity to network with the likes of Rockstar, Rareware, Microsoft Game Studios and others, as well as show off their own work to these people. Just a list of some of our achievements that we've had recently. Obviously, things are still dated in 2019 because there wasn't a lot of set out last year for and this year for during the pandemic. But again, I think the most important one for me is we're consistently ranked in the top 25 universities for student voice and academic support. We listen to our students. We want to know what how they feel and how we can support them. So our campus is mainly based in East Park Terrace, so we're a city university with a campus feel. We have the below bar campus, which you can see just into the city centre, which houses our graphic design and illustration departments, if any of you are interested in that. We've also got our Sir James Matthews building across the way, Riso's, our shop in the middle of the centre, and the ones listed vertically there are our halls of residency. So BIB students tend to prefer actually staying in houses with other friends that they've met, or indeed staying in private accommodation. But there's nothing stopping you, looking at some of our halls of residences on our website, reading a bit more about them and finding about which one would be best for you. And us as a university, we've got over 11,000 students across 200 different courses, so and over 121 nationalities. So we've been welcoming BIB students to Solent for many years, over 25 years, and it's been great to see some of our students come through. There was an opportunity, or is an opportunity, for you to watch our BIB video. That's on the page. If you Google Solent University Germany, you'll see that there's a couple of videos up. One with BIB students talking about their experiences, and another with us and some more BIB students talking about the partnership between the two colleges and university. We've also spent a lot of money on our campus investment. We spent over £100 million on enhancing our campus, making sure that our facilities are still state of the art. That started with the creation of the Spark building at the top left, and sort of continued with the development of the high-tech sports centre, which is the bottom picture there. BIB students typically study on a range of areas such as art and design, graphic design and illustration, computer and games, TV, film and media, but you'll be studying in a university with much broader interests. This means that you'll be studying with students that are doing fashion, are doing engineering, are doing architecture. You'll also have the facilities at your feet if you choose to use them. If you are a computer and games student that needs access to a photography print room, you can request that. If you're a marketing student and you want to use, again, the dark room to take photos for some of your marketing collateral, or use some of them Apple Macs, those facilities are there as well. And you can tap into the sports studios and stuff like that. So there's lots to engage with based on the campus that takes you outside of just your learning environment. And again, something we're really passionate about, that we try to make sure, and the reason we invest so heavily in our campus is our facilities. So be it you know, the featured radio and audio recording studios, photography studios, animation studios, some of our purpose-built labs for workshops. And then in terms of a few general highlights, the stunning Spark building, cutting edge sports complex. We've got HD television studios, a Dolby Atmos audio studios. I could go on talking about all the different facilities that we have for students all day, but there are some fantastic facilities, and a virtual tour around the campus is probably the best opportunity. We will be sending you out an email very shortly. I'll be sending you out an email tomorrow after your sessions with subject leaders with the links to apply to our courses, but also more information available. So do look out for your emails, and you can have a little look, and there'll be an opportunity to click on the virtual tour options and take a look around, but also engage with some of our academic staff. I mentioned the enterprises at the start, and again, just some of the initiatives that we've got. These are designed to make our students stand out from the crowd when they submit their CVs, so that they're not just coming with university, degree experience. They've also got this work experience that more and more employers are asking for. So on to tuition fees. Tuition fees are in line now for international students, for EU students, which means that the standard base rate is £14,250 for the year of the undergraduate top-up year, and then it differs by course, but roughly the same for postgraduate students. The most important thing to stress for all BIB students that are concerned about this or have questions about this is that there are very attractive scholarships available to EU students that weren't available before. So it's important that you get an application. When we send you the links tomorrow, if you're interested and you're keen and you think it's something you might like to do, submit an application. There's no obligation, there's no pressure to apply, but at least you can then be considered for a scholarship if you wish. So, there are lots of different scholarships. I will touch on them in a bit, but that is the best thing you can do. And then, when you get your grades in, let us know, email me, speak to either Bettina or to Elizabeth if you're from Berger Gladbach, and let them know that you want to be put forward or considered for one of our scholarships. I mentioned that our student Solent residences are only a 10-minute walk to campus, and again, there are rooms that are dedicated for first years and rooms that are dedicated to returning students, a choice of ensuite and non-ensuite, and there are the safety and the flexibility contract lengths, the safety of having it with a university rather than going private. There are other private hall providers, and BIB have worked with us long enough and knows all the different hall providers that we are in partnership with, and they do some fantastic rooms as well. But you have a lot of choice available to you in terms of where you might want to live and stay and the options that you have in the city. Rooms tend to differ between £130 a week for ensuite and £109 a week for non-ensuite. And then included in that, you obviously get your Wi-Fi, your bills, your lockers, CCTV. So they are fantastic rooms from the university, and that are a really good affordable rates. But likewise, we've had students from BIB that have chosen to stay in a house with 2 or 3 of their friends. Others have chosen to live in private accommodation, and we've even had those that have decided to commute in from a different city because they've wanted to try and live in a different city. So it's completely flexible, and we're here to support you the whole way. As I've mentioned, private accommodation is available, and you can always take a look at the Southampton accreditation scheme for student housing and speak to our accommodation team for further information. So the academic entry requirements for all students coming from BIB, whatever your state certified program is that you're studying, you will know it roughly relates to the degree course that's available at Solent. Now, I've had questions from students before that might be studying a state certified program that feeds into a different Solent degree, but they might want to find out about the others. And on a case-by-case, one-off basis, we can look at that. But typically, as BIB will be aware of, we have a progression route aligned with BIB. So in order to do that, you need to complete all your units with a GPA of 3.0 or higher. And then you need to have a look at our entry requirements, because some courses might require a portfolio. Often ones such as illustration and graphic design will require a portfolio, or some might require work experiences too. So do have a look at the extra requirements. You also need to have an IELTS or equivalent English test at 6.0 with a 5.5 in each component. Now, I know the majority of you here study IELTS as part of your BIB qualification, which is fantastic. And honestly, the English from BIB students is always well received by our academic staff. You speak some fantastic English, even though you might not think you do. So your English is better than a lot of students that do look at studying with us. So don't be shy about it, but you do need to get that IELTS score. And then there's the option to complete a master's degree with us as well. As a student, we offer discount for students continuing on from undergraduate or bachelor programs to master's level programs. As long as you pass a minimum 2-1 at the pass Solent undergraduate degree program, we can progress you onto a relevant postgraduate degree. And that's something that quite common BIB students do, particularly with the global MBA. We've had a few BIB students that have gone on and kept studying at Solent and progressed on to a global MBA as well. I mentioned some scholarships. We have a range of scholarships available for students. What happens, and the next slide will explain a bit more of how you go about applying for them. But these can be between £1,000 and £3,000 discounted off of your tuition fee. And that, with the support from BUFOG and some other additional funding support, can make the finances less of a burden. So, you know, you don't need to choose which one of your scholarships you want to go for. We look at them, and in line with your academic grades that you're achieving in BIB, if your GPA is noticeably higher than that 3, it might be something that you want to progress on to. So, you know, if you submit your application in earlier, you get more choice for scholarship. So here you go. Here's how it would work. You just simply submit it before the 26th of January. I always try and encourage it before Christmas. You can check in with me and tell how you're doing. We need your predicted grades, roughly, of what GPA you're working towards. And then we can tell you how your scholarship application is going and if it's successful. As I mentioned before in the previous slide, it's awarded as a tuition fee discount. So that's taken off of your tuition. And that is all about Solent. So there are a few more steps you can do before you look to join us. There is obviously the webinar and information session. That's where we're at the moment, but I will be delivering one tomorrow. And the one tomorrow, which I'll put a link to in the chat after this session, we'll be talking a bit about scholarships. We'll be talking a bit about visas as well, but it will be for general for EU and EEA students, asking any questions that they might have. There will be some similarities to today, but there will be some information that you might not have at your fingertips. There's then an opportunity to attend a virtual or on-demand open day. You can always and should always look at our website, and you will be. We encourage BIB students to apply directly using the email links that we send out tomorrow. We then make you an offer that's likely to be conditional initially on you achieving those grades. And then when you get your diploma grades in, it becomes unconditional. We do have an agreement with BIB that we can award an unconditional offer earlier on in the process before you get your final grades in September. That then allows us to continue with the visa application. But once you have an unconditional offer, then you get sent information about accommodation. By all means, you can look at this information beforehand, but that's when you will be sent out that information from us. And then 3 months before your course start date, typically the end of June, we then send your confirmation of acceptance to study, a CAS, after we've received your tuition fee deposit, and you can start a visa application. Last year, we had the first EU students coming from Germany and from BIB on visas. And although there were issues surrounding the pandemic and getting students over, it's actually a much smoother process than the rest of the world has. EU students are considered very, very trustworthy in their applications, and they don't have to go through half of the amount of administration that the rest of the world students have. We will be running visa guidance sessions throughout 2022, and I will be sending a link to BIB students to tell them this. So there will be lots of information and advice and guidance on applying for a visa. And then you complete your enrolment and you join us in September. So again, that's it. Opportunities to book a virtual open day. That's on our website. You can choose the next available virtual open day. If you can come to the UK, you can attend a physical one, but there are also on-demand open days as well. These are opportunities to just access a load of online content at your fingertips. I've mentioned exploring the website, the chance to take a virtual tour, and please, when you get some time, do look at the course videos. They're based, we'll send you a link to them tomorrow, but also they'll be based on your in your country page too. So just Google Solent University Germany, and that will bring up the page dedicated for Germany. And there's 2 or 3 videos on there with students speaking in German about their time at Solent. If you do want to speak to us on a one-to-one level, you can always book a one-to-one with me. That's my email address there. Please note it down. You can drop me an email. I know some of you have already. And then you submit your application online using the link that we will be sending out to you tomorrow. And if you've got any questions or you can't find the email, you send me an email and I'll get that link sent across to you as soon as possible. So thank you very much for listening. I'm just going to open the floor up now, guys, in case you've got any questions at all. Is there anything you wish to ask me? And you can ask via chat, or you can ask via the Teams by unmuting yourself and asking me the question directly. But what I will do before you ask questions is for the session, info session that will run from 4 to 5 p.m. same time as today, German time. And the link to that is now in the chat. So do feel free to check in on that. And while I've got you there, I'm just going to put another few more useful links in the chat as well. This is the Germany page that we have available. But does anybody have a question or a query at all? Hopefully that means that everything was okay. There might be, what I will do then, if we're not getting any questions, is just bring up this page, which is our specific page for Germany. As you can see, we've got a student, here's Anne-Catherine, talking about her time in Germany, but we've also got some questions here, and I can play, hopefully, this video that will tell you a bit more about it. And if I bring it up on YouTube, actually, that might be better. So there we go, guys. Hopefully it was insightful and gave you a bit of information about the time that we have and the time that BIB students have with us. I am now going to be quiet for a bit and ask if anyone's got a question at all to just unmute themselves and ask it. Once again, I will pop my email in the chat in case you want to send me something on a one-to-one basis directly. Okay, well, hopefully that's because I've answered any questions. Again, thank you so much for joining us. Vielen Dank, and hope to see you all in your subject sessions that start tomorrow. Okay, we'll be there, and there'll be an opportunity to find out a lot more about the courses on offer and to ask any questions about academics, about what you can expect when you arrive, and some of the content that your courses involve. If I don't speak to anybody before now, have a frohe Weihnachten and have a lovely Christmas. Obviously, stay safe and look after yourselves. But yeah, thank you very much. If you need any links again for tomorrow, then just send me an email and I'll get those across to you later today. Okay? Danke. Tschüss.